This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News. Today we're going to be looking at three different Bluetooth headsets. We're going to be looking at the LG series of headsets. They've got multiple lines of headsets out there. We're going to be looking at one in the 800 level of headset, one in the 900 level, and then one in the 1100. That's kind of their entry, or I should say they're not entry, but they're kind of the low end of the better quality ones, the middle, and then of course the top of the line in the LG series of headsets. These are all Bluetooth headsets that work equally well with Droid or with the iPhone, and that's what I'm using it with right now. Now, what I like about these is not only they have decent sound, it varies between them, and the audio pickup and such, I sound usually pretty good when people are listening to me on the other end of the line. There's a few nuances, and we'll talk about those, but what I really like is that I can use this headset right now and do a quick video, which is really kind of convenient because some Bluetooth headsets won't allow me to do that, or the sound isn't quite as good when I'm talking on video as it is when I'm talking on the phone. So it's really kind of, this is an important part for me. That's why I have all three models here, and you're going to get to listen to all three. With each headset, when I do my little test audio, I'm going to go through some of the features and such of the headset that makes it different from the other models, and just to give you a little better idea. And then at the very end, I will go through and make my recommendations as far as which one I think is ultimately the best from my past experience. Now, what you're going to hear today is going to be a little bit different than what I've done in the past, because I've never done this to video before. So what we hear audio-wise is going to be one thing, and then I'm going to give you my favorite as the secondary thing here in just a little bit. So let's get started with our first headset. This is from LG. This is their Tone Platinum. It has 11 plus hours of play time. And what it has the speakers in this are just a little bit better for audio listening. And it has the Harmon Kardon elements in here. So you get a pretty good sound quality on this one. It is much better than the 800 series. The 900 series, we'll talk a little bit more about that. They're really quite similar in many ways, sound quality wise, or I might even give the 900 a little bit of a nod, except when it comes to clarity of voice. Sometimes the 1100 is better, but for music, the 900. But this is a neat little headset. It has the power switch over on the side. It has the ability to turn on and off as far as to answer calls and hang up on calls. And then it is a retractable headset, so I can extend, and then to go and have it go back, I just have to gently pull, and then they retract, just kind of like an old-fashioned window shade does. That's the 1100 series. This is very common with this. Now this particular is the 1125 headset. There's many of them with little nuances in the 1100 series, and depending upon which store, this one, the 1125, is available at Best Buy. I'll put a link in the description where you can go find a similar version to this. I paid about $155 for it. Most of the time they're about $199 online. Quality-wise of this headset and the ability to use it for videos like this, it's well worth the $200, I think. It sounds good. I can put my earpieces in and I can hear people talking even with a soft voice. It's definitely a good headset. For music-wise, it's probably not my favorite, and we'll jump to the next one next. So our next headset is another LG, of course. This is the Tone Infinim, I'm going to say, however it's pronounced. This is the 920 in the series, and again, I'll put the link in the description below. You're hearing a little bit different sound quality on the microphone pickup of what you heard from the 1125, but it still gives us a pretty good sound quality. And again, this is all being run via Bluetooth. The playback on this one is just a little bit longer. You can use it for it can be used for about 15 hours of playback compared to 12. Now, a couple of other features of this one is you've got our ability to call and such. The power switch is over here on the left side as opposed to the 1100 series, which is on the right side. But it has two little buttons right here on the side. So when I go to retract, let me just pull one of these out. If I pull that out, it doesn't come out again. I don't have to tug on it again. I can go up here and just kind of guide and push the button, and then that becomes the retracting element here. So again, I can grab the headset, pull it out, push this little button in. Here, I'm going to just do it this way. Push the button in, and it zips it right on up in there into the spot. Now the 900 is actually a series I've had for probably the last 3 years, and I had to replace it because one of the the left side, and it seems like left side is the one that goes out on people the quickest. The left one died on me, and it was getting having short circuits and stuff. Everything else was working fine. I could listen to it by the right one. It's actually my backup Bluetooth headset in case one of the other ones dies, but it was left died, it was time to get replaced. Now what's kind of cool, they've added to this. This is actually using the Harmon Kardon elements also in it, and it has on there a little bit of a gauge or a little bit of a knob for adjusting the bass and such. And what I'm going to do is listen to the audio and such, and I'm going to give you, after all three of them, I'm going to give you kind of my thoughts on which one sounds the best audio-wise, and then I'm going to listen to the audio from all these and see which one I thought sounded the best via the audio. So this is the Tone Infinim. This is the 920. And again, links will be in the description below. Let's jump to the 800 series. In our last headset we're looking at here in this comparison of the 11900 and 800 series is the 835. This is the LG Tone Ultra using JBL speaker elements in it. This is the one that you can buy at Sam's Club for about $70. So we've looked at one that's about $200, one that's around $125, and now we're at one that's about $70. This is obviously the less expensive one, and it has probably the microphone sound quality is the least of the three. Audio wise, this doesn't get as loud as the other two. I've used this one and I had to upgrade because it just didn't do as well as my 900, and it certainly didn't do as well as the 1100. So it doesn't get as loud, but for people who have regular hearing instead of DJ hearing, you might be completely fine with it. Now there isn't any bass adjustment on these. You pull these out, you pull them once, and then you have to give it a little tug again to retract it. It's not the push button retracting. You've got your power switch over on the side. The headband on this one, and I'm going to hold it like this so I can continue to talk. Hopefully I'll continue to talk. The headband on this one is a little bit thinner than the headband on the other two, which some people complain that the headbands on these break pretty easily. That's something that you'd have to, kind of feel out and such. Is it worth investing a little bit more? Because they say that the more expensive ones break easily too. I haven't had that experience, but I treat these pretty well. I don't let them go zip back up into the headset with the retracting, and then I also don't bend it around too terribly much. I take it off and set it up into a place of safety. So I'm going to now stop the video and I'm going to listen to a song three different times with these, and then I'm going to come back and then we'll do a wrap of this video. Okay, so I went through and I listened to all three of those with a common 80s song that had a nice bass, you can hear the full range of things. Of the three, the 835, and then when I listened to the audio from it, the 835, the one that you can buy at Sam's Club, boy, that really sounded weak. The audio from me talking sounded poor. The audio listening to it is okay for listening. I mean, it's better than nothing, and it's probably better than some of the over-the-ear that stop right here. But boy, oh boy, there was a night and day difference I felt between the 800 series jumping up to the 900 series. The 900 series unit, again, has retractable. I can show you this a little bit better now. It has the retractable earpieces that will come out. And then it has the little switch there, the little knob, which will allow us to turn the bass on or off, depending upon what you're wanting to do. And it has the same type of connections, the ability where you have the charging port, and then it shows you if it's charging or not, if it's full, and the volume and different things such as that. So they're all very similar. The 900 series, when you listen to the audio on that, I thought it picked up very well. I think it's very comparable to the 1100 I'm wearing right now. The audio for listening to music, I think that my older 900 series maybe sounded just a little bit better. It had maybe just a little more bass in it. This sounds really good, but I would say the 900 series and 1100 series, listening to music, were almost identical. Now, I didn't pick up much difference in adjusting that on or off with the bass. Maybe there's going to be opportunities or times where that would be beneficial. It just didn't seem to me to be a big noticeable difference from one to the other, but maybe the type of music I was playing also has something to do with it. So overall, the $70 800 series from Sam's Club, I would probably recommend saving your $70. Getting into the 900 series, this is the I believe this was the 920, and there's different versions in that 900 series. With the retractable, I like this a lot, where I can go and push the button and retract it as opposed to just giving it another tug. Because when you have the wire all the way out and then you give it one more tug, I can see that being a problem. So I like the 900. Audio-wise, I think the 900 and the 1100 series sounded very equivalent sound quality. I don't have to adjust any bass with these, and they have a decent sound. Now, as far as which one has the more volume between the 900 and 1100, I think they're basically a horse apiece. The 11 might have a little bit more volume capability than the 900, but if it is, it's so minute that I couldn't detect it. I would have to say that between the 900 and the 1100, you're really talking about two units that are very, very similar. Distance-wise, for being able to walk away from these, that is something that the 800 series, I couldn't walk very far away from the phone whatsoever. The 900 and the 11 were a little bit farther, and it worked pretty well. So the big thing you're going to have to decide between these is that push-button retractable a big thing for you if it is your 900. If you listen to this and you're like, hey, I like the audio a little bit better on the 1100, I can see that, and that might be the better way to go for you if you are using it like I'm using it, where you're doing videos with it. So listen to the different things I've done with this, and you guys can let me know what you thought between that 9 and the 1100. Is it worth another $50 to buy the 1100 series, or is the 900 series the route to go? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News. Again, all links for these headsets are down in the description below, so you can check out some current pricing. Thanks for watching.